Hello, today this video is going to be about automated heating or smart heating. There's going to be a couple of tips and tricks in here, things that you might want to think about when deciding on what system you're going to buy, and also some of the kind of configuration things that you could do thereafter. And hopefully some of this will help you decide on the smart heating system route that you want to go down. But first of all, let's start with kind of like, why would you bother? So why would you bother automating your heating if actually it's already automated? Because in some sort of way you've put like a timer in probably. It's a pretty good question, and there's kind of three key areas I think, or three key reasons why I think you might want to automate your heating. So the first reason why you might want to automate your heating is actually because it's almost the perfect thing to automate. The idea is you should set it up and you'll pretty much forget about it. Any good home automation, I think, is something that kind of disappears into the background. And if I think about any of the stuff that I've done in my house, heating is right up there at the top of the list of stuff that's just been set. I never have to touch it, never have to do anything with it. So number one, it's a good thing to go set up and just forget about. So number two, there's quite a lot of efficiencies I feel you can get from doing interesting things like switching off the heating when you leave the house. There's a friend of mine that we have, discussions about whether is it best to switch off the heating and then heat up the house again, or to just leave the heating on kind of all day. It's entirely up to you, and I'm sure you can find just as many people that would say it's a good idea as just as many people will say that it's a bad idea. But I quite like the fact it's going to switch off my heating when I leave my house. So that's the second reason why you might consider doing this. So the third reason is actually kind of gives you an opportunity to upgrade the heating in your house. So my heating in the house, as it was before, pretty much there was just the heating, the thermostat downstairs, and that controlled the whole of the house. No zones, no nothing. Depending on what kind of system you get, you might find that actually you're able to produce quite a lot of zones in the house, and then switch on or off the heating in each of those zones depending on time of day, who's in, or whatever else that you need to do. So yeah, actually look at it as a quick and easy way to upgrade the level or type of heating that you have in your house. So one of the first areas you want to think about is, do you want your smart heating system to have just a thermostat that sits on the wall? Or actually, do you want to have maybe a combination of thermostats and TRVs, or thermostatic radiator valves? There's a couple of reasons why you'd go down each route. So the thermostat is nice and easy to replace. You just take the one that's on the wall, more than likely take it off the wall, especially if it's a wireless one. Take it off the wall, put your new thermostat on, connect it to whatever system sits by the boiler, and you're good to go. And what that's going to do is it's going to take the temperature of the room that you're in, and that's ultimately going to decide if it's going to send heat to the whole of the house and all the radiators in the house. That's kind of where I started with. I started with a Hive unit that did exactly that, and then quickly progressed to thinking about how actually I could start to control all of the rooms separately. So your other option is, as well as a thermostat, you might decide to go down the route of having TRVs, or thermostatic radiator valves. And the beauty of that is as you go round each of the rooms, you can replace the little knob that sits on the radiator with something that can be controlled remotely or automated. So the difference there is, instead of with a standard kind of thermostat system, the heating comes on when that room where the thermostat is cold and heats the rest of the house. With a TRV system, it's kind of like automating each of the rooms separately, and so you start to have a lot more zones that you can control. And so in my instance, actually what we do is we have the top of the house is heated at night time to kind of keep everybody warm. And then during the daytime that kind of swaps around, and the bottom of the house is heated, and all of the radiators upstairs turn off. The best way to think about this is actually what a TRV system does, or a home automation system with TRVs, is it's like it's like automating the fact that you going around turning to 0 to 5 to 9, whatever you do, each of the radiators in the house without obviously you having to run round.